I felt a bit lost this past month from about October to November, where I had goals. I knew what I need to be working on for YouTube, for writing, track and field. I still showed up and did those things. But midway through October, it seemed to fall apart within my life, where I don't really have a desire to keep going, to keep improving in these areas of my life. Instead, the work seems difficult. It's like pulling teeth out of my mouth every single time I sit down to put in some effort. My mind constantly feels like there's a bit of brain fog that I have to kind of pierce through in order to even, get anything done. And so everything besides the work was so enticing to me, where I'm just sitting down, I'm reading a book. I'm on the internet searching up whatever I want to do. Maybe it's a book that I'm reading. Maybe I'm consuming some self improvement content by coping and telling myself I'm trying to get better, when in reality, all I'm doing is just procrastinating the work. And I did that over and over again, day in, day out. At first, it felt really good, right? You're changing it up, you're getting a dopamine hit in your brain, and it just feels awesome. But after about a few days of that, after settling for less, even though I knew I could be doing more, it started to feel bad, where I was out of routine. I'd locked myself into a new habit and trying to go against the grain and reestablish what was important in my life, sitting down and writing, making quality YouTube videos, training for track and field, and doing good at those areas of my life. It started to get very, very difficult. And every day I'd wake myself up, tell myself, yo, today's gonna be different. I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna do the work, I'm gonna get the things done that need to be done. But I didn't do it, right? That ever constant cycle of saying, I'm gonna do it, and then you inevitably just do the thing you're not supposed to be doing. It felt defeating after a bit because I've been on self improvement for what, like 35 months at this point, right? Almost 3 years. And I thought I was past this point where, oh, okay, like I'm not gonna fall prey to those bad habits of like social media, internet addiction, just not following a routine and doing like these simple, simple things that I've been doing for years at this point. I was slipping up, I was making mistakes, and it was a bit of a wake up call for me to realize I'm not infallible, I'm not perfect. But even that realization didn't really change anything. It was only when I was listening to this David Goggins podcast, and I know it sounds cheesy, I know, but I was listening to his podcast with Andrew Huberman, and he said one thing that really just stuck out to me, right? The one question being, how do you want to be remembered, right? And just listening to that, hearing it, and then kind of thinking about it after the podcast finished, it was like a mental realignment in what truly mattered within my life. I knew I didn't want to be remembered for being a lazy bum, right? Nobody does. I'm not special in that. I knew I wanted to be remembered for putting myself out there, pursuing my dreams, even if I failed. Even if I didn't achieve everything that I set out to achieve, I would be content knowing that I did my best, that I was with my family, that I prioritized my sister, my mother, my father, spent some good time with them, create YouTube videos where I could genuinely help people rather than optimizing for views, thumbnails to get people to click, all of that, and track and field, just being friends with my teammates, putting myself out there, challenging myself to do my best and, achieving what I've set out to do. Asking myself how I want to be remembered, it just made me realize like there's so much unnecessary stuff. And I can't lie to myself and say, oh, I want to be on the internet consuming content every single day in the effort to learn more. That's not what I really want to be remembered for, right? I want to be remembered for taking action, for facing my fears, for doing the things that I know I need to be doing, but I feel hesitant towards actually taking action upon. And so after I listened to that podcast, after I really internalized that belief, I'm not gonna say everything fell into place like a puzzle piece. It was difficult. It still is. I showed up today. I woke up. I did a basic routine. I got to work. But I still felt some resistance. I still felt something pulling me back, telling me, go follow your impulses. Go do something easy. You don't need to do the work right now. It's not what the priority is. And listening to that voice, when I give into it, when I just settle for less and I do what it tells me to, I inevitably just feel terrible afterwards. Like there's a quote, hard choices, easy life. Easy choices, hard life. And the choices you make in the present moment, the choices that are made right now, they are a day in the tapestry that is your life. And realizing this for me made me realize I repeated the same thing right there. But what I realized from this is that every day counts. And so while I was just taking days off, while I was being inconsistent, skipping writing, not putting my best effort in towards the things that truly mattered to me, all that was happening was I was wasting the precious time that I have been given. And I don't mean in the sense that, oh shoot, I'm gonna die next week, that I need to make the most of absolutely every single second of every single day. I gotta be an efficient guy. Like, it's not really what I mean. What I mean is I want to spend all my time doing the things that genuinely matter to me. Not necessarily being like regimented for every single minute of my day, but to make the most of the time that I have been given. And realizing that the internet doesn't really matter to me, right? Consuming brain rot content does not make my life better. Avoiding talking to any of my friends and saying that I'm just working all day isn't really a good use of my time either. I'm not saying necessarily to be a balanced individual, but to really just be unbalanced in the areas that matter most. Because in my life, I just find that when I just focus on the things without distractions, like for example, writing, I wrote this morning. When I just take out all the distractions within my life, when I clean up my environment being my room, my house, the people I surround myself with, when I clean that up and I just focus on the things that genuinely matter to me, I enjoy doing the work. Right? The hard work becomes fun because one, first of all, it's the only thing I can do, right? There's nothing else I can do in my room besides just sitting down and being bored. So the hard work becomes fun, but there's nothing else just on my mind. There's no brain fog from having watched like 10 hours of content on my computer. There's no sense of unhappiness or unhappiness or fatigue in a sense to think, oh shoot, I could be doing something else right now. I could be pushing myself to be the best person I possibly can be because I just know I'm doing what I need to do, which is sitting down, writing, creating content, ideas, figuring out how I can make the YouTube channel better and all of that stuff, right? But there's no real sense of overwhelm or feeling like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing because when I just do the work that I know I'm supposed to be doing, the work that genuinely calls out to me, that wants to get done, and I do it, oh, I feel good. My day is better. I did something difficult and now I can kind of relax and just think, hey, I did that. I put $1 into the identity of the person I want to become. Feels good. And now I'm going to do the next task. And I enjoy doing that too. And if I just keep that up and I keep doing the things that I enjoy, if I enjoy spending time with my family, then I do it. Like my day becomes good. And my day, I found it just like an indication of how my life is going to turn out. If I have good days, I'll have a good life. If I have poor days that go up and down, not really consistent, that I'm not really focused, that I don't really feel good day to day, that is going to color how my life looks like. And so change starts with one step at a time. To ask yourself, like, how do I want to be remembered? What sort of person do I truly want to be within my life? Because that question has given me a lot of clarity to actually cut away the distractions that don't mean much to me, to focus on the things that are genuinely important, to just work on being a happier individual, right? You don't need something special. You don't need all of these fancy gadgets, books, courses, everything to become a better person. You have that choice to be who you want to be starting right at this moment. So why don't you start, right? That's all for this video. Thank you for watching and consider subscribing if you enjoy this content. Besides that, have a good one. Peace.